Next speaker. Yes, sir. Identify yourself.
What up, council? My name is Chad Kroger. I'm an activist and house party enthusiast. Over the past week, I've been in a state of deep despair upon hearing the news that LA is trying to outlaw house parties in the Hollywood Hills. I am here determined to stop this future atrocity. House parties were the bedrock of my development as a young man in San Clemente. My first introduction to manhood came when the captain of my water polo team, Boomer Kingsley, asked me to shotgun a tall can of Bud Light in front of the whole squad at his end of the season bash. His parents were in Tahoe at the time, so we tore that weekend up. It was epic, and I was super stoked. My newfound confidence gave me the courage to ask out the most popular girl in school, Lauren Stockholder, to prom that year. She rejected me, and I had to go with Stacy McMillan, but I didn't care because I was so amped on chugging with my boys. That's what house parties do. Raging at house parties is the truest way to party.
Next speaker, please come and identify yourself.
What up, council? My name is JT Parr. I am also here to defend parties in the Hollywood Hills. I grew up like most kids, worried I couldn't bench 2 plates, that I wouldn't fit in, that I wouldn't find love. Then I discovered partying, and suddenly all those worries went to the wayside. I didn't need love. I had keg stands. I discovered I was great at raging, and it revealed wonderful things about myself. I could relate to bros regardless of what kind of bro they were. I could be at a party and moon people, and everyone would laugh, be witty. Or I could play beer pong and compete with real integrity. In short, I fulfilled my potential. If you outlaw house parties, you may keep the volume down, but an externality is that you may keep people from bonding. America needs bonding. People need to put aside their differences and find common joy. There's no more effective environment for that than a frickin' rager. This is best exemplified in me and Chad's relationship. We were star-crossed. He a surfer, me a bodyboarder.
Thank you. And I want to welcome you to LA Council's Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure.
Oh my God, that is so funny. That absolutely kills me every time that I hear that. Oh my God, let's see if this will work now.
You are now listening to Out of the Shadows podcast on Exposing Reality Radio, hosted by Landon Wells. This is Out of the Shadows.
Fuck, technology is just not going to work for me in the times that you need it to. And that's just the reality of it all. But hey, I'm back again. Thank you guys for tuning in. Those of you that are not listening live, it's cool. Check it out later. Most people do listen to it after it's already posted and don't necessarily watch it live, which is fine. Again, I'm very sporadic with these shows at the moment, and that's really simply because of I just got a lot of shit going on right now in my personal life, so I can't necessarily plan ahead too much. Especially with my work, I kind of travel the country a lot, so it's one of those things where, when I can put one out, I'm going to put one out, but we just kind of be calm for the moment. For the next month or so, at least, it's going to be a little wonky. I'll do one here and there, simply because I'm doing a full remodel on my house, which is just taking a very long time and a lot of time out of my day. And then, of course, with my work traveling the country, it's been a lot. So last week I flew out to Colorado and then drove back, and yeah, it was just a very long time. But don't let that scare you, because I got a lot of really, really cool shit lined up. I'm just kind of holding off until I finish my house and get moved in over there and get everything settled down. So we're going to do some shows between now and then, but nothing major is going to happen until I at least get through that move. But thank you guys again for listening. And those of you that are joining us, that have listened to other shows on the network, I really appreciate you guys checking out everyone else that's on this network. It's a really, really exciting thing for me to be a part of this huge network that we're gonna grow into something that's absolutely amazing. We're gonna have a whole bunch of different shows with a whole lot of different opinions and different viewpoints, and that was kind of the idea behind it from the get-go. And we also just want to create an environment where there's really no rules. So if you want to, say something crazy, you're more than welcome to, but understand, if I think you're crazy, or if you have a guest on your show that sounds crazy, I'm going to fucking call them out on mine. And that's just how it is. You can't get upset about it. Suck it up. Suck it up, buttercup. But tonight, I have a episode that I recorded last week with Sean Cohen of the Paranormal Response Team, the group that I've founded. And we were on location, and we decided to record an episode. So tonight, that's what I'm going to play for you guys. It's not going to be necessarily a live show. I am going to be sitting here in the chat room. So those of you that are listening live right now, please shoot me a message in here. If I need to, I can stop the recording and we can talk about a few things if that's necessary. But anyway, again, thank you guys for listening. And I'm going to go ahead and start the show with Sean Cohen of the Paranormal Response Team. All right, and we're back again with another episode of Out of the Shadows podcast. I'm your host, Landon Wells, and I have Sean Cohen with me. Sean, what's up, man?
Y'all. How y'all doing tonight?
Oh, man, I had a fucking crazy shitty day already. I got a speeding ticket on the way in.
I don't feel bad. I was actually on my way home from work, and apparently I was making a phone call and got a ticket for using my cell phone while driving.
I want to know how much a speeding ticket or a ticket while talking on your phone is. I've never got that one.
I'll let you know in about 3 weeks.
I've gotten plenty of speeding tickets, though. I can tell you about to the dollar how much it is.
But you know what the best thing about getting the speeding ticket from the city that I live in? The officer actually says to me, he goes, "Hey, I don't like writing speeding tickets." And of course, I look back and I said, "Sir, you don't have to justify yourself while you're doing your job. Why are you sitting there justifying yourself?"
Yeah.
And of course, then I shut my mouth real quick. So, But
I got caught doing 66 and a 45. So that's in Georgia. That's super speeder.
Yeah, I was about to say that's a super speeder ticket.
That's your speeding ticket plus $200. So we're probably looking at like $400 for that damn thing.
And about 4 points on your license.
I don't know about that, man. I've gotten so many speeding tickets and never had that.
Oh, cruise control works for me anyway. So.
I know. But it was 55, and then it went down to 35 out of nowhere. So whatever, 45 then 35.
Yeah, look where we are. We're in deliverance country.
Yeah. So actually, so people know, we are on location at an investigation. We found some downtime, and we decided, hey, let's record a little bit of this. We can't do it live because there's just not enough internet service here to provide for a good episode. So we're just going to record this and then play this tomorrow. So we're actually at the Oakland Plantation Inn. And what the hell's the name of the city?
Warm Springs.
It's close to Warm Springs. It's like Wilbury or something, right?
Wilbury?
I don't know. Wilbur? Where is it?
I don't know where we're
The
at.
postal address is Warm Springs.
Whatever. Fucking Warm Springs. South Georgia somewhere. Not really south, I guess.
Middle Georgia.
Middle Georgia. Right on. So we're in this empty-ass plantation home. Not a lot was going on earlier, and then it kind of all of a sudden started going a little crazy. It's getting later. It's 10 o'clock at night. Well, let's talk about that. Earlier, Sean and I... Well, let me back up. All right. This is our second time at this location. Our first time here, we were getting a ton of electromagnetic field interference. So, I mean, anywhere on this property, you're getting a 0.5 or more milligauss reading on your millimeter, K2, whatever.
Yeah, any digital device out here is pretty much useless.
And the way we kind of determine that it's useless is simply because, we spent a good hour today driving a 1.5 mile radius around here, just trying to figure out where all of this interference was coming from. You guys may hear some interruptions. We've got our whole team here right now. But anyway, like I was saying, we drove around and we tried to find the source of this interference. And what we found is it's literally over the whole mile of this place. I mean,
I would
it's
say
everywhere.
It's probably over the whole city of Warm Springs.
I mean,
the little
it's
town of Warm
ridiculous.
Springs.
I mean, at minimum, it's 0.5, and then we got it up to what?
1.7,
1.8,
yeah, something like that.
And this plantation home's kind of sitting on the outside of an airport. So our original thought was, well, maybe it's like the comm towers or something, interfering with it.
Couldn't get anything off of those.
Yeah, so we drove all the way over to the airport, which is really not that far, and went right up to the comm towers and nothing. I mean, it's the same thing as here. We walked all over the airport. We drove all the way around it. So it's nuts. So I believe you think it's.
I think it's some sort of, either one seismic activity that's going on here, or some sort of magnetic field that's actually going here. Warm Springs, Georgia, is actually known for having hot springs. President Roosevelt, back in the day, of course, he had polio, used to come down here to bathe in the warm springs because it eased his pain of his polio that he had. So that's what the area is actually known for. So, but I think it's more some sort of geothermal energy type deal that's coming radiating from the ground.
And I didn't know if I really thought that that's what it was at first, but after our investigation of this whole property, I'm kind of leaning towards it. Damn, Sean was right on that one.
Every once in a while, I go pull one out of my rear end.
He was spot on there. Shit. But anyway, so did he fly into this airport or the one that's up the road?
Of course.
Do you know?
That I don't know. I don't know too much. I do know the area. FDR actually had a little White House down here, which he stayed into when he left the White House.
Oh, really? Well, I know that, when you get off the interstate up there was another airport. I mean, it's not even, 20 minutes from here, 30 minutes from here. And I thought that was kind of odd that they're so close to each other. I don't know what the reason for that is.
This area, Peachtree City, this place, and this whole area down here is nothing but an aviation. Everybody that has airplanes going to fly out of these little areas down here.
Yeah, he's looking awfully crazy.
I'm actually looking in the back corner over here because I swear I'm seeing some sort of shadow moving around over in the corner.
Well, let me paint this picture for you listeners out there. We are sitting in I guess this will probably be like the living room of this plantation house, on a little fold-out table, recording this episode right now, so that we have something for tomorrow. I'm actually going to have Sean on a bunch of different episodes here with us. And one of the main reasons for that is he's very skeptical of a lot of things and kind of thinks outside the box on a lot of it. So it's kind of nice to have that input. Although I'm not going to say you're always right, but you're right tonight.
I appreciate that. I'm not trying to gloat or anything about that, but it's I'm always like to at least somewhat throw out a nice educational guess out there, on what possibly could be happening.
Yeah.
And of course, I didn't show up for the first time the group came out here, but I am out here on the second time just to test my theory on if it's geothermal or if it's just some sort of paranormal. But my case wasn't that I didn't think it was going to be it's not paranormal. My case is the energy source is coming from somewhere. If this place is this is like one big conduit out here. Reading from 0.5 to 1 point, between 0.5 and 1.8, I'm talking about there's definitely, potential for a lot of paranormal activity or some sort of paranormal going on out there.
Yeah, I mean, this literally could be a generator for it. I'm not saying. I am saying what you think it is, geothermal. I am agreeing with you that that's most likely what's causing the interference with the electromagnetic, detectors. But that doesn't discredit the fact that this house could be haunted. Right? In fact,
it can't be haunted. Exactly.
In fact, it could just be literally a powerhouse, a generator for the whole thing. You know what I mean? Like what? I don't know. I've never dealt with something like this where I totally believe it's, geothermal. I can't recall any time I've had to deal with that. I've never been in a location where it's constant reading like that, unless it was next to